Welcome by this weekly update. It is Friday, October 10, 2025. Ceasefire into effect. A ceasefire in the Gaza Strip began at noon today, initiating a 72-hour countdown for the release of all 48 hostages held by Hamas, both living and deceased. The Israel Defense Forces confirmed the agreement's activation and stated that troops have repositioned according to the framework tied to the hostage deal. While combat operations are paused, the IDF's Southern Command remains on alert to eliminate any immediate threats. The clock for the release of the hostages starts ticking. After hours of deliberation, the Israeli government has approved the first phase of a US-brokered agreement aimed at ending the war in Gaza and securing the release of hostages held by Hamas. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office confirmed that the deal includes the release of all 48 hostages, both living and deceased. Of these, 20 are believed to be alive. Hamas is required to release them within 72 hours by early Monday morning. Israeli hospitals and medical teams are prepared to receive the returnees, with officials insisting the handover be conducted respectfully without public displays. In exchange, Israel has agreed to release 1,950 Palestinian prisoners, including 250 serving life sentences for deadly attacks. Most of these individuals are expected to be transferred to third countries such as Turkey and Qatar. Hamas also requested the return of the bodies of its slain leaders, Yahya and Mohammed Sinwar, but Israel denied the request. The agreement faced significant opposition from right-wing coalition members, including Bezalel Smotrich and Itamar Ben-Gvir, who expressed concern over the potential security risks of releasing convicted terrorists. Despite their objections, the deal was approved following a 6-hour cabinet session attended by White House envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, who played a key role in shaping the plan. As part of the agreement, the Israeli military will withdraw to the Yellow Line, a boundary outlined in US President Donald Trump's peace plan, leaving Israel in control of approximately 53% of Gaza. Netanyahu hailed the deal as a national and moral victory, marking a significant step toward de-escalation. However, the coming days will be critical, as both sides prepare for a sensitive and emotionally charged exchange that could shape the future of the conflict. Israel rejects French Mideast summit. Nothing about Israel without Israel. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar has strongly rejected the France-led summit on the Gaza conflict, criticizing President Emmanuel Macron for organizing the event without Israel's involvement. The summit, scheduled in Paris, brings together representatives from the US, EU, Arab states and major European nations to discuss a two-state solution, but notably excludes Israel. Sa'ar condemned the initiative as unnecessary and harmful, especially given its timing alongside sensitive negotiations in Sharm el-Sheikh. He accused Macron of using Israel to distract from his own domestic political crisis, including the recent resignations of his third prime minister in a year, Sébastien Lecornu. Macron has been pushing for international recognition of a Palestinian state and aims to position France as a key player in the Middle East peace efforts. However, Sa'ar argued that the summit undermines a US broker deal led by President Donald Trump, which is nearing approval by the Israeli government and includes terms for ending the war and releasing hostages. Sa'ar expressed outrage at the inclusion of governments he described as open hostile to Israel, such as Spain's Sanchez administration. He emphasized that no decisions regarding Gaza would be accepted without Israel's direct involvement, invoking the principle France itself used in the Ukraine conflict. Ukraine's future cannot be decided without Ukraine. Calling out what he sees as France's hypocrisy and double standards, Sa'ar concluded firmly, nothing about Israel without Israel. He reiterated Israel's refusal to accept any internationalization of the conflict, asserting its sovereign right to shape its own future in the region. Let us pray for the hostages, that their release will take place. Pray for the families of the hostages, that their suffering will come to an end. Pray for the enemies of the Jewish people, that their eyes will be opened to the true Messiah. Pray for the up-and-coming restructure of Gaza. Pray for the coming of the Prince of Peace, who alone can bring true shalom. This is the end of this week's weekly update. Thank you for listening.